Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name is Mike and today it is time for our another weekly MOCs update episode. I'll be showing 10 MOCs for you from my least favorite to my most favorite one. And at the end of the episode, we'll be showing your creations that you have submitted to our BrickVaultfanmocs email. So without further ado, let's start off with this first MOC. And remember, all the links to the galleries of those beautiful MOCs can be found in the video description below. Now we are starting off in the 1930s with this beautiful MOC for a car. That is the Ford Tudor Rat Rod from 1929 by Styles Gaffney. And boy, this thing has some style. There is always something really catchy in the cars from the classic years of motorization, and this thing just screams power and fabulous, I guess. The Ford Tudor is one of those hot rods that people try to recreate in the modern years right now, and this massive uncovered engine, along with a very bulky back or cabin, just makes up for something really unique. As you can see in some of the pictures, Styles took a very easy approach to build this one, but don't get me wrong, even with the simple build, this thing is pretty detailed. The frame is quite simple, but the engine itself looks really good, and all in all it kind of reminds me of those wacky races vehicles. And also the massive tires in the back tell me that this thing packs some serious punch. I guess it can spin, it can drift, overall do all kinds of things that a powerful vehicle is supposed to do. Quite crazy build, but also very unique as I mentioned. And if you like this style of this type of vehicle building, I would say go to Styles' Flickr page to check out his other cool builds of classic cars. And this next one up is a cool modular building MOC. I remember that some of you were disappointed that I was not mentioning any building MOCs, but in this week's episode this one jumped into the list because it's very good. This is Astrid and Associates architecture firm by Andrew Tate. And I have to say, it immediately caught my eye. I may be kind of a bias because, you know, we have a modular city in our studio here, and I would really love to have this thing here. The building is actually quite big. I think it is fitted onto two 32 by 32 base plates, and the level of detail along with the actual cleanliness of the build are both amazing. I love the color combination on the facade and the side walls. There is also quite spacious sidewalk in front and on the sides as well. We have a small newsstand along with a bike rack and a beautiful simple built for a lamppost. The entire architecture theme here seems to be somewhat Middle Eastern, with all those curves and arcs at the very top, and I think it works really well for the type of this building. I really like the Andrew's approach to detailing, because his interiors as well as exteriors are not very crowded, but they look just right. I mean, nothing is out of place here, the space usage is very good, and overall it builds up into a very realistic build. I would say it's quite simplistic, even sterile at times, but the overall result is very satisfying. And I can say it works because the first I saw this building, I immediately checked out his entire Flickr page, and all I can say is Andrew has some really good building right there. All his modulars are actually the most beautiful I have seen in a long time, so be sure to check them out. But from stationary, let's move on to something really moving, because this is a build from a creator that we mentioned already. This is another great bulk contraption by Bertil van Beek, and this one is titled Rainbow Wave. You can check one of our previous MOCs episodes about his previous creation, that is the Akiyuki Marble Run, and this one here is his newest build. For those of you who don't know what the great bulk contraption is, it is a LEGO style or technique that revolves around building machinery, modules, or otherwise crazy creations that make small balls moving in a very mesmerizing way. They are designed so that they can be connected together between different builders. And this one is not only a great technically advanced creation, it is also a homage to the LEGO color brick palette, because once turned on, as you can see on the clip, it moves the LEGO palette colors in a wave. There is a very hypnotizing way, I have to say, but with the use of proper physics, it moves the actual balls around the wave from one point to the other. And for people who love such meticulously created things, me being one of them, I have to say I can look at it for hours and it won't get boring. This is a really cool thing. Check out the creator's Flickr page for his previous builds, and if you are really interested in this style, you should also search name Akiyuki, which is one of the best creators of great bulk contraptions in the current LEGO world, that many other creators follow. Alright, and moving on, this next build is all the homage you can get to the classic gaming consoles. The Flickr user Old School Brick managed to build 3 classic gaming systems with all the functions intact in LEGO form. So speaking of that, we have the LEGO Sega Master System, which is his most recent build that just came out this week. There is also the classic LEGO Nintendo Entertainment System console, as well as LEGO Nintendo 64. Well, I was born in the 80s, so that means a lot to me to see those back in the action. I remember playing the Nintendo Entertainment System a lot with my brother, especially the Duck Hunt game. Remember this one with the dog that was so annoying? But anyway, all those builds by Old School Brick are just an amazing return to the great days of gaming history. Really awesome, especially the effort the builder put to make the actual electronics and cartridge systems inside a LEGO chassis. That is some fine engineering right there. For all the details about the builds, even the early steps of those designs, you can definitely check out the Old School Brick Flickr page. And this next build, that is number 6 on my list, is called the Transforming Spacecraft by James Zahn. As you may have already noticed, I'm really into any space themes, and this one adds extra value because it looks great in both forms, both the vehicle and the actual spaceship. This orange dark grey color theme works very well. It comes with a small display of maybe a piece of hanger, and what I like the most is the mech form actually. You can see the cockpit is rotating to level the pilot when he's standing on these massive legs. And overall it is a quite creative build. You can also see that in different forms the ship can have either armament or some manipulators to pick up things and carry them. The spacecraft looks so solid that it actually may do very well as an official LEGO set. I have to admit that every time I see such builds, I'm really thinking about LEGO returning to the classic space themes. That would be awesome. Alright, and the number 5 build is again a robot. We are keeping it sci-fi, guys. And this is a build from Ghost in the Shell. It is called JHAGF 7000 Fuchikoma Think Tank by Cole Black. If you ever watched anything from the Ghost in the Shell franchise, you know that think tanks in this series are usually intelligent weaponized robots in some kind of a spider form on 4 or 6 legs. This is a beautiful build for one of the types of those robots, and let me tell you, it looks great. It is the bigger version, the 6-legged vehicle. Well, I say vehicle because it holds a space for actual pilot, but in the lore it also has very intelligent AI, but in the lore it also has a very advanced AI, so that it can move around and pretty much live on its own. You can see the robot has some massive firepower, we can see the guns in the front. The whole tail armor holds all the important systems, I guess. And if you do not know the scale of these monsters, it is actually much bigger than a car, which can be seen on one of the pictures, as it just stands above it. So that is actually a minifigure scale build. Ghost in the Shell overall is a great lore, great anime, so you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to do it, as you will see plenty of these robots there, and this one is just a great homage in LEGO form. And also the builder supplied the instructions for purchase. A beautiful build, and you can definitely tell that the builder is into micro scale building and minifig scale building as well. As you can see, not only beautiful photography on his Flickr page, but also a number of other awesome builds. Okay, but enough sci-fi for now, we're gonna get back to that really soon, because number 4 is something very earthly. These beauties are Umberle and Eretria, sailing yachts designed by Felipe Avelar. And if you guys ever tried sailing, it's a beautiful activity, amazing way to spend your vacation, I would say. And I guess the builder Felipe is really in love with boats. I'm not actually very proficient on the shipbuilding technical language, so I just try to do my best to say something about those beautiful ships. Eretria is a ketch yacht with 2 jigs, the whole looks very solid actually. The masts are made from Technic pieces, and what really catches the eye is this rigging along the whole boat. I am pretty sure that it is as detailed as possible, probably an actual yacht model detail level, so I guess all the ropes, every piece of equipment that is on the actual yacht is in the same place on the model. I believe those do not have much of a play value, and as any other ship model, just make for an awesome display piece. The Umberle, that is the red sail ship, its full technical name is Guff Cutter Topsail Yacht, according to the builder, and I think actually both of these are based on some actual vessels. This one is a converted 19th century British trawler, and this is actually my favorite of the two. I just love the look of ships with those pointy sails here and there. Again, all the rigging is very accurate. It kind of looks like a small pirate ship, to be honest, because you can see those small holes on the sides that probably represent the holes that used to be cannon ports. Definitely the builder put a lot of effort into designing these. His descriptions on every picture are very accurate for those of you who want to know the details. And overall he made to the top 4 because of the uniqueness of those amazing creations. I have not seen such a beautiful sail ship in LEGO form for a while now, I have to say. And as always, check out his Flickr page, because Felipe is taking great photos and has some cool creations along the way. Alright, and we are moving into the top 3 for this week. And again, we are visiting Scarif with this Rogue One build. And I know guys, I showcased a Rogue One cargo shuttle not that long ago, but that one was smaller scale, and this one is actually UCS scale. That is one of those sets that could do very well as an Ultimate Collector series. The same as the U-Wing from our last episode, which is still very awesome by the way. The Zeta-Class cargo shuttle, most commonly known as Rogue One from the movie, is a beautiful ship that we keep seeing a lot of builds of, because of the popularity of the movie of course, but I think this one tops the cake right now. The entire hull is much more detailed thanks to the scale, the cockpit looks beautiful, the wings just are very intimidating. I am still amazed that Renegade clone, the creator of the ship, was able to recreate this vessel so closely. After actually such a short time after the movie got released, Renegade clone did not cut corners while designing this ship. The cargo bay actually can hold an entire crew of minifigs, and one of the pictures even shows it next to the UCS Lambda class shuttle, which we have in the studio. This thing is enormous, so I can tell their Zeta class is enormous as well. Beautiful build, and Renegade clone, please submit it to LEGO Ideas, cause with such sets LEGO may finally break the rule that they are not picking any Star Wars sets for Ideas consideration. I would say they should start doing so. Okay, guess what guys, number 2 is also a spaceship, but not one you have ever seen. Well, it seems I like spaceships a lot, don't I? Anyway, this is something really massive. This is the Nautilus by Alexander Safarik. This massive beauty was in the works for over 2 years. Alexander's Flickr page shows the entire process, and he just managed to finish the build last week. Just look at the scale of it. I am not sure what series or lore the ship is based off. I have read some comments that it may be Halo. I am not sure, I have not played the game to be honest. But even though if it was like an original creation, it even adds more to the actual build. And wow, the level of detail, the scale, the massiveness, along with the stand and the small surface of a planet I guess underneath, it all just turns out to be something that you really would love to see on your shelf and pretty much on every LEGO convention you go to. I think this ship will be displayed at BrickCon this year, so I hope we will be there to just witness the beauty of it. Such a beautiful creation, but you would think what would actually top it off with a number 1 position for this week? And behold, because number 1 is something you don't really see that often. Well, actually you do, but not in such form. The absolute best of the best for this week is the DMC DeLorean from Back to the Future by Korean creator Setter82. Well, his full name is spelled in Korean, and the translator tells me his full name is Ji-Hyun-Ju. I hope I pronounced it okay. This is a massive scale vehicle, and actually one of my favorite vehicles in the history of filmmaking. And great Scott, this thing is detailed. This is the DeLorean time machine version that Marty McFly and Dr. Emmett Brown use in the second part of the movie when they travel into the future. That means the vehicle can actually fly. I mean, not the Lego form, the actual one that was used in the movie. So he has all this cool stuff on the back along with his engines. He even has the rotating wheels so that they turn into the hover pods they use in the movie. Everything is so meticulously detailed that I am just speechless. There is even the Mr. Fusion reactor on the back. As you can remember, Doc Brown was using trash to actually power the vehicle in the future. We have a fully flashed out interior with this massive dashboard. Everything is accurate. Even the stickers with the dates when they travel and when they come back. The capacitor in the back also looks the same as the movie. One word for all of it: epic, epic, epic. Those are actually 3 words, I know. It also comes with a beautiful stand and a UCS style sticker. Oh, and did I mention that this thing opens up like the real one? This set just makes the Hall of Fame of the best sets I have seen. And I really hope this is not the last thing to say from Ji-Hyun-Ju, because well, he doesn't post too often, but when he does, it blows your mind. So be sure to check out his Flickr page. And alright guys, those are the top 10 MOCs for this week. That is another high quality week in the MOCs world. The builders just never stop, the builds just keep coming. And as in any of our MOCs episodes, it is now time to show off some of the things you guys created. Remember, keep submitting your MOCs to the email that is provided in the video description below. Also stay with the rules that are mentioned in the description as well. It really helps us out with all the sorting and showcasing your MOCs. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching, subscribe and like, and here are your creations. Cue the music.